Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve. Well, that's about change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
At the end of the day, we're just two pals chatting absolute rubbish. It's time to face the music. It's time for freezing cold takes. And with the group stages done, we're going to chat about some other 14 players who have starred in the World Cup. But first off, old men yell at clouds. What are you angry about this week?
No, I'm going to let you go first this time because it's always me going first. So yeah, you can go first this time. I feel like the first one's always more impactful and the second one gets forgotten about.
Well, it's always me going second, so you're saying mine are forgetful, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so cut to the other day. I was walking back from the gym. It's a really, really sunny, hot day, and this clearly like sort of first car driver screams past me with his exhaust going, and I just thought to myself, nothing shouts I have a micro penis more than having a loud exhaust on your car.
I thought I drove past you the other day, mate. Nah, yeah, I've got a special place in hell reserved for those people. I remember when I was at uni, I was next to a dual carriageway and it didn't have double glazed windows in the halls we were staying in. And yeah, every night there'd be boy races going past in Salisbury. And I'd just be like, I hate you so much. I hate you.
You know what the worst part of it was? I live in Southgate, North London. I saw him 3 times as I caught up with him at every like traffic bit, and every time he would stop at the whatever the roundabout or whatever, or the junction, and then he would go off again, and it was just like annoying me more and more as I walked around the corner.
Oh god, I can see that rattling you big time.
Yeah, I was pissed off. I was like, shut up, man! Like, take this little toy off your car.
To be fair, I don't even think that's old man yelling at clouds. I've been pissed at those people forever. I don't think at any point in my life.
Yeah, we've always been old men.
Yeah,
at heart.
Did anyone sit there and think that? Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. I want that. Like, nah.
Someone must do. Otherwise, why do these people put them on their cars?
True. Very true. Yeah, I'll give you that one. My old man yell at clouds isn't really. It's not an old man yell at clouds one, I don't think, but its deliveries through the heat wave they just weren't working. Like, I don't know if you experienced it or anyone else out there experienced it. A few people I know did. It was basically, I ordered a fan off Amazon, and Amazon's usually next day, isn't it? It's there. It took 3 days to get there. DHL stuff I'd ordered took ages to get it. And I looked online, apparently something like 60% of deliveries during the heat wave went tits up. And I completely understand why. I mean,
I was going to say, that's pretty fair.
No, it's fair. That's what I mean. It's not an old man yelling at the clouds. Like, because Amazon you just uses normal people now, don't they, to do the deliveries? Like, so would you really want to be driving around in 40-degree heat delivering shit to people? I wouldn't. So it's not really yelling at clouds. It was just a minor inconvenience. Well, quite a big inconvenience because I had no way of cooling myself down for those
Alex
3 days.
Alex has ordered these ice dildos and he will get them tomorrow.
No, I'm going getting the rocket lollies, wasn't I, and sticking them up my arse.
Homemade.
My other old men yell at clouds is teams deciding to change their badge yet again and make it look even worse.
No, mate, I'm here for it. West Ham have announced that they're going to change their badge in 3 years' time. They were like, we put this information out there. It won't change for the next couple of years because of like merchandising rights or whatever. And it was like, okay, thanks for announcing this now. I'll wait to see what happens in 2 years, but at least down with the corporate nonsense. It's the easiest like layup because like obviously we're going through some ownership situation right now, and it is like new owners come in. The easiest thing to do to get fans on your side is be like, hey, do you want to change the badge back to what is actually West Ham's badge? And everyone will be like, yes, great, that you've appeased us.
In 3 years' time.
Yes.
It's like me coming into work.
When we're in League Two.
Me coming to work, yes, I'll get everything done on Friday. Do not worry. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, you want this done? Yeah, it would take 8 to 12 business weeks, actually.
Oh, I love it. Cool. Okay, then, mate, should we take a break, then get into our freezing cold takes?
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, where do you want to kick us off with our freezing cold takes? Because I'm not going to lie, I had quite a few very hot and Oracle-like takes this year. And you got to.
I knew you were going to struggle with this because I knew you were just going to glaze yourself and be like, I was brilliant. Look at all my amazing takes. I'm sure you could have found some bad takes.
I just know I was right about pretty much everything. So it's a bit of a hard.
Well,
Must be a bit of a salty subject, this one for you.
I have a bit more humility than our co-host here. I have two that I need to apologise to Leeds for. The first one is that I thought Lucas Perry would be a top 5 signing and solidified Leeds in goal. He came in, looked shaky from the start and never really settled his nerves and then lost his place to Carl Darlow.
I remember when you said that, and I was just like, what are you on about? He was third choice at Palace behind Remy Matthews. And it was just like,
yeah, but he had gone off then. He'd gone to Brazil. He'd gone on to France. He was he'd started loads of games since that Palace, being a third goalkeeper there. But like players, especially keepers, can have weird career routes and that. But he just never proved it at Ellen Road.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, it's not fair enough. You're wrong, and you should feel bad about it.
I was wrong. Yeah, no, fully wrong. I think, but I also think Leeds sounds like they might be in the market for a keeper again, because I believe, unless my information is outdated, that Carl Darlow hasn't signed a new contract and that he was out of contract at the end in this summer. I think Leeds have offered him a new contract, but
hasn't he been linked with Chelsea with like 10 other players?
Isn't everyone that we've ever discussed linked with Chelsea though?
Yeah, but I mean, at the moment, that should be my old man Yellow Clouds thing. Actually, is everyone being linked with Chelsea at the moment? Like Carl Darlow, Granit Xhaka, Maxis Qua. It's just like, oh, so they're going to buy everyone now when they don't. They don't even have European football. So what is attractive about that basket case of a club right now? That really should have been mine.
The 10-year contracts with massive wages.
Yeah, I guess you are set, aren't you? Once you get one of those. It's literally like, yes, I'll go pull this this club's pants down and take all their money for the next 10 years.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but from like Carl Darlow, because he's also been linked with Man United as their backup goalkeeper, and it's like, do you really, like, Carl Darlow, do you really want to go off and be a backup? But then he might look at the Leeds situation and go, well, you didn't back me to be your number one after promotion last year, so should I really show like faith and like loyalty to you? But you're likely to start for Leeds. I don't know. I still have a feeling they might be in the market for another keeper. They might look to move Perry on, and are you just going to go into next season with Darlow? Probably not. I think Leeds probably will still be looking. If not, like last summer, they had to get someone in at least to challenge. This summer, they probably still will have an eye on the market to see if there is a good opportunity to sign someone. As Carl Darlow, do you think you're just going to end up disrespected again by Leeds? Maybe. But
I mean, if I'm him, I'll probably go sit on the bench at a top 5, top 6 club and do a Scott Carson and just take it out.
Just collect the trophies but I mean, not that you'd be getting many at Man United, but
no.
Anyway, that's enough of Lucas Perry, Carl Darlow chat. My other Leeds one is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin couldn't stay fit and wasn't a Premier League striker at this stage of his career. I got that wrong. I apologise to him during the season. I apologise to Leeds fans, but definitely one that I got wrong. He shut me up.
We touched base on that a lot throughout the season. Like he did better than I expect. We even touched on it during our team of the season, didn't we? I didn't actually realise how many goals he had finished the season with. So yeah, he got you good there.
He stayed fit for the season as well, which was my big worry about him because he was linked with West Ham as well, and I guarantee if he'd have come to West Ham, he would have got an ACL or something in September and been out for the season. So good on him for avoiding that and for staying fit for Leeds and banging in the goals.
Nah, yeah, 100%. My freezing coat take, I guess, and we touched on this one already. I've said Sancho would have a good season at Villa, didn't I?
You did, yeah. And one of my other ones is that I put Harvey Elliott as a fringe top 5 signing of the season, which both of them. I mean, to be fair to you, Sancho did have a better season than Harvey Elliott, who got absolutely ostracised after making like 9 appearances, and if he'd have made an extra one, they would have had to. It was an obligation to buy him, and they just decided to put him in the reserves for the rest of the season was I never saw the field, and he saw the funny side during the Europa League celebrations. But yeah, I never saw that coming after his summer with England unders last year, and how talented a player he has been.
Nah, it was mental. But where does he go now as well? Was he on loan now? Did they buy him? I can't even remember.
No, he was on loan. That's why they only played him 9 times, because they would have had to buy him. So yeah, a really weird situation. Like maybe Fulham look at him again with Harry Wilson going out the door. Bring Harvey Elliott back to Fulham. See, like that's something that I think would be quite nice to see. But Harvey Elliott might be looking at, like, he's played well for Liverpool over times. He's just never had a consistent run in the team, and then this was just a bad loan at Aston Villa. Like, no one could have predicted that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's a bad loan at a bad time for him, isn't it? That's the problem. But has Harry Wilson gone to Leeds yet? Or are we still waiting on that to be confirmed? We're waiting on it, aren't we?
I think it's waiting to be confirmed, but it does sound like it will be confirmed once the transfer window opens.
I can't believe that one. Yeah, I guess we'll touch more on that during our previews. But mad, absolutely mad to me. Cool. And I'm trying to think of any other bad takes I did have. I was just so right.
Well, we both have one.
Yeah.
Well, we both have one that I've got as my last one that we definitely are both at fault for.
Yeah, I looked at the table, our predicted tables, and we both had Sunderland in. We again, but I remember talking a lot about thinking they would stay up. But who did I have? I had Burnley, you lot, and
Sunderland, and I had Wolves, Burnley, Sunderland. You had Wolves finishing just 1 point one space above the relegation zone.
Who did I have staying up from that went down then? Just Wolves?
Just Wolves, yeah. Because you had Burnley and West Ham, and I had Wolves and Burnley. So we both got 2 of the 3 relegated teams to go right, but we absolutely disrespected Sunderland. They shut us right up and, shot up the league. But, I mean, they were safe from February. It was never really in danger.
I remember now, we were talking about it, I remember being like, I don't know enough about this Sunderland team, if I'm being brutally honest, so that's why I couldn't pass the judgment on it. So I was going off the vibes of I was going off the vibes of being like, maybe the people that come up from the playoffs always struggle quite a bit. They need to keep the team together. They hadn't kept the team together. It seemed like they hadn't kept the team together because they'd made loads of signings as well. So it all seemed like the perfect storm, didn't it? And then I thought, they'll beat Newcastle home and away, and that'll be it. But,
I mean, they just made so many signings that it was kind of like we can make plenty of excuses. Like, we certainly weren't the only people to have Sunderland down for relegation. They made so many signings that nobody could tell whether that was a team that were going to gel, whether these players were, like, a lot of them first time in the Premier League, like how Robin Roofs was going to get on, like how Dan Ballard was going to get into the Premier League, and how good Granit Xhaka was going to be at leading them and pulling like all those players up with him, sort of thing, to his level. Like, their XG would have had them finishing lower. So like they're possibly regression candidates next season with Europe as well. But I won't be putting them in my bottom 3 next season. That's for sure.
That might be my outrageous prediction when we come to predictions later on. But
you're gonna do it again. You're gonna bite them twice.
But it is a bit like everything kind of went right for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, you literally just listed all the things we'd expect to be the cliche that goes wrong, but it all just like sunk into place. It wasn't like a big turnaround in the middle of the season to make it sink into place. It all was like from the get-go. Because I'll put it back to when we got promoted and we signed like 15 players. I think it was like the record in the Premier League at the time, and I think only 3 of them or 4 of them actually ended up being first-team players, or even with us the next year. It was something silly. But the big turnaround was bringing Tony Pulis in. They didn't need that. They didn't need to like upheave everything. They just had the same spine to the team, same manager throughout it all, and they just performed. It's something you don't really see. We haven't seen in years from promoted sides. No,
and we were probably slightly misguided by how poorly the promoted teams had done for the last 2 seasons before this one, where it was just almost I think everyone kind of, there was a bit of a disillusionment with the promoted teams, given how badly the six before them had fared in the Premier League. There was kind of like, I think when we were doing our predictions last year, we were both like, well, maybe one of them will stay up. I think we both had Leeds staying up, just kind of, and just no one really could have predicted how much Sunderland would turn it on. And like, you're right, they did it from the get-go. Stadium was absolutely huge in getting, in doing that. They won so many of these tight games, with Robin Roofs making outstanding saves, sort of thing. They deserved it, of course. They absolutely impressed a lot this season, but I don't think anyone really could have predicted that. No, your most crazy Sunderland fan probably wasn't saying that they were going to finish seventh. They would have bitten your hand off for survival.
I'm trying to think of the last team to do that. Really, it was at Wigan back in 05, 06. So I can't think of a team coming up.
Didn't Wolves under Nuno Espirito Santo really they got promoted, and then because they had they signed João Moutinho, and they had Ruben Neves, and they had Raul Jimenez and stuff. They had a really, really good championship team. They didn't come in and make a load of signings from what I remember, but they made a couple of signings. João Moutinho had been playing Champions League with Monaco, and they brought him in and was and then I think I want to say within their first couple of seasons they were in Europe for at least 1 year.
They definitely made it to Europe. I don't know if they made that first season, but yeah, it's just crazy stuff from Sunderland. And yeah, I don't think we owe Sunderland fans apologies. I think because we were pretty vocal about Sunderland throughout the whole season, but yeah, we probably should.
I mean, we don't owe them an apology. They shut us up straight from the off, especially against my West Ham on the opening day of the season. So they definitely don't need apologies, but they can take their joy from it.
Oh, I love that. Or was it Sunderland? I'm just seeing where they rank in newly promoted sides and points, and I think that 2018, 2019, Wolves finished with 57 points. Leeds finished with 59 points in 2020, 2021. I don't remember that.
The Bielsa Leeds that stayed up.
Yeah, I didn't realise they had that many points. I thought they just scraped through with that. But hey-oh, cool. Okay, you got any more freezing cold takes, or do you want to talk about my hot takes that were right at all? We talked about them too many times already.
See, listeners, I didn't list my hot takes that were right, even though I actually got some. But Alex is so small a human being that he's desperate to change the conversation onto what he got right. So go on. Have your little moment in the sun.
You got one right, didn't you? And you got Chris Wood not scoring as many goals as last season.
And I had Astonvilla to win a trophy this season.
I don't remember that one.
That was my other bold prediction. I had two bold predictions. One was a club one and one was a player one, and I got both of them right. So actually, and then I got two of the three relegated teams right. I pretty much got a similar record to you. I just didn't need to come on the pod and be like, look at me, I'm the Oracle.
Mate, I am the Oracle. West Ham getting relegated was the boldest take out of them all that anyone made. No?
I mean, maybe, but we had kind of survived by the skin of our teeth for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, it was that Potter stuff. Let's not get into it because we can do well, I guess we won't be doing it in predictions because you're not in the lead.
Nope, in the bin for the season.
Yeah, it was Potter, and it was never gonna. Well, no, it felt like you would never recover from the shit he had set up for you to begin with.
No, I mean, what you spotted with West Ham is what I spotted with Wolves, where we're at the end of the season, sort of petered over the edge and didn't look good at the end of last season, and then it was right. I think we both anticipated that carrying over. I optimistically, from a West Ham perspective, was no, I like to look positively, whereas obviously you saw through the Potter misery. But yeah, and then I saw that with Wolves. I think they had that great spell and then petered out towards the end of that season. And some of this, losing Cunha and Ait-Nouri, I was it doesn't bode well.
No, but that's happened with Brentford, didn't it? You lose. I guess they didn't lose the whole core of their team. That's the only thing, isn't it?
I mean, that's another. I wouldn't say it's a freezing cold take, but it was definitely a cold, like it was a cold. It was a room temp take that we both had them down as like 15th or something,
Yeah.
and then they ended up finishing 9th.
Yeah, I guess that Brentford system just has to be trusted throughout, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a little bit more faith in that than you did in Wolves, who had chopped and changed over the last few years so much.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Okay, I think that's everything for our takes then. Should we do a World Cup roundup of our other 14 players?
Yeah, let's chat some World Cup, and this is essentially a segment that is just two dudes naming guys.
It's very much about to become pub chat.
Yeah.
We've watched as much football as we can, but I have not been staying up for the 3 a.m. games or even the 1 o'clock games.
No, I've watched most of the kickoffs that have been this side of midnight, and then like on a Friday, Saturday, I've sometimes watched like the 1 a.m. Like I watched the Brazil-Scotland one and stuff. Like I watched some of the ones that have kicked off in the early hours, but not every single match. But I have watched highlights of all of them if I've missed them. So like I've caught all of the goals and that. So like I think I've watched a decent amount to give some chat on these World Cup players.
Yeah, nice. Where do you want to start? The teams that have the most players at the World Cup and the ones that have probably had the most impact?
Yeah, I've listed some players from each of the teams that were in the other 14 last season, and like the top players out of them. I've not listed every single player. But like, first off, Palace took 12 players. There's about 7 that have either impressed or surprised, I would say. And the first name on my list is Daichi Kamada. Like, just been at the heart of everything good for Japan. Scored some surprise goals, you would say.
I'd say surprise goals. I mean, there was Worldy, his first header, of course, like definitely meant to. But no, he's obviously not a goal scorer for us. But what's not surprised me is how he's just dictating playing that team. It seems like he can do it in big game. He's like a big game player. When it came to us playing against a Burnley or someone, it seemed like he disappeared. He like fell apart in the games. But anytime it was a big game against a big club or big scenarios, he is that man you want. And apparently he might be signing a new contract with us, which is shocking to me. So yeah, with how he's performing there, and if we get him for another year or two, I'd be beyond happy. But yeah, he's been, like I say, everything good that's been in that Japan team has seemingly come for him, and Japan have been like a standout team so far, I think, in the competition as well.
Yeah, well, I've got them in my work sweepstakes, so I'm fully blue samurai for the rest of the tournament. They've got Brazil in the knockouts, like that. I think that game's tomorrow, so like probably know by the time I record him, but I have a sneaky feeling, I'm probably going to be completely wrong, but I have a sneaky feeling Japan could do Brazil.
No, that's kicking off today, and
is it today?
Yeah, I'm with you. I honestly think if there's a team Brazil, I mean, if I was England as well, I wouldn't want to come up against Japan, but I think there's a team Brazil are going to come up against that could cause them a lot of trouble. It's a Japanese team that like know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like each player's going in there, like knows how they have to play the game. There's no there's no ambiguity to it. Whereas I feel like the Brazil team,
I mean, they took Scotland apart, and Scotland were atrocious. Like Scotland were like the makers of their own downfall so much in that game. Whereas I don't think you're going to get that with Japan. Like they were second best at times against Netherlands, but they managed to. But then they were better than them at times. It was that game was so ebbed and flowed. Like they had moments of really good pressure. Netherlands had moments of really good pressure. And then in the other couple of games, Japan were just like, again, the Sweden one, they probably weren't as good as they could have been, but against Tunisia they were great, and I think they can definitely do Brazil some damage.
I think they can. I think Brazil kind of rely on a bit of chaos at the moment, which I mean, is that kind of true for Brazilian football forever? Maybe not chaos, a bit of something special to win the game, and.
Yeah, but it's less like flair than Brazil have ever had. It's more directness and sort of like counter-attacking pace and stuff that they have now, where than like the flair that would kill you before, and like the trickery that you never could expect. Japan can work against like pace. Like Japan can, as a team, cover the spaces really well. They can definitely like defend to their hearts. Like they'll leave everything out there for sure.
Yeah, no. I think that's enough probably for Daichi. Anyone else? I mean, there's 2 more players I'd pick out from Palace at least, but anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Munoz for Colombia must be on one of your others.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals so far.
Yeah, scoring goals for fun, really, isn't he, at this point? All the rumours of him going to Barcelona are really hyping up with this. When I saw he scored again, I was like, could probably do if you're not scoring any more goals now, mate, in all honesty. Right. But I think Colombia have been solid through it. You got Jeff Lerma from us there as well, just doing the business in the centre midfield for him. But oh no, he's playing centre back for him, isn't he? Actually, I think. Well, he's
Is he?
in him, yeah. But they just breezed through it, really, didn't they? And
Yeah, I mean they battered Portugal in that last game. It felt like they were really unlucky. Obviously, had Davinson Sanchez toe offside, which is just so ridiculous. Like that is offside. But you know, Colombia deserved to top that group for sure.
yeah, I mean, another one that I do not want England to come up against at any point, because I feel like we always get Colombia in like some knockout games, and we always beat them. Well, what was the last time? Beat them on penalties or whatnot. But that's just a.
This is a tougher Colombia team than that one, I think.
I see them going a long, long way in this tournament, because who have they got now that they finished top of the group? Ghana. They're probably getting past Ghana, then Switzerland or Algeria in the next round. I think they're doing the damage there. And then they're probably going to come up with Argentina in the quarterfinals. Mate, they could go deep, couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see them getting through the next couple of rounds. They were that impressive in the group stage. But yeah, and then the other one you must want to mention is Ismail Assar for Senegal.
Yeah, I mean, I always want to mention it, but he's just done what he does at Palace in these games, and I think Senegal are another team that absolutely terrified me. I think they got done dirty with their group, didn't they? And they showed in that Senegal-France game like how dangerous they can be. But
And the Norway one, like they were almost got a draw out of them when they had no right to, really, like the way Norway were playing. But yeah, Senegal gave them a really good game. They gave France a really good game, and they did what they had to do. They battered Iraq on the last game of the group stage to get them into that third base, the table of third place teams. So yeah, aside another one, you must be worried that he's proven himself on an international stage where he'd proved himself time and time again for Palace.
I think, yeah, he's proved it all, but I feel a bit safer with Sarr, because I think from everything he is, like quite a shy individual. I think he's happy after like the bad spell where was he, Marseille, where he was like not getting any game time. Where I think he just wants to be somewhere he's probably stable and loved for a bit. So I'm not too worried about that. And also, I think the age is probably a factor putting people off. He's 20. I want to say he's 29 now. Let me
Really?
double check that.
I
Yeah,
thought
20.
Ismail Assar was much younger than that.
No, he's 28.
Ooh, yeah, you might be all right then if he's going to go.
Yeah, so I feel a bit safer about that, in all honesty. But yeah, he's just doing everything I expected him to do, in all honesty, and everything I probably expect that Senegal side to do. They've got Belgium, and then they come up against USA or Bosnia and Herzegovina.
They're beating Belgium.
They've got to beat Belgium.
Belgium have been awful. They've got to beat them.
Yeah, we're not.
And then back them against USA or Bosnia.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing you put down here other takes for some defenders. Chaddy Riyad and Chris Richards.
Just thought we'll mention Chaddy Riyad, and we'll mention the player playing next to him later. But like, kind of surprised that I don't think he was maybe necessarily pinned to start for Morocco, but as they've had a couple of centre back injuries that have sort of opened the path to him to start.
Yeah,
but he's impressed. Like he's been decent.
Yeah, before we signed him, I believe he was starting for Morocco quite a bit. But then you think with the injury and everything that came through and not playing regular football. But yeah, he stood up and being good, and that Morocco team has also been really strong. Like, there's a lot of teams in this World Cup that have been entertaining and like good to watch, which has probably made this one of the better World Cups I've watched in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has been great World Cup. Like the expanding it to more teams, I was sceptical at first, and I don't love the 8 third place teams thing going through, but it has given us some amazing storylines like Cabo Verde, like DR Congo and stuff, and 9 of the 10 African teams getting through to the knockouts, I think is great for football and that. So, you know, it has pros and cons.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you. Okay, that's all the past players I want to mention. Are there any more you want to mention?
I mean, just a nod to Chris Richards, like home country. Obviously, it's playing for the USA. He's clearly their best defender by quite a far, by like quite a distance. So like they've been playing a back three at times. So like he's clearly bringing his sort of like leadership and performance from Palace to the national stage. So like just a tip of the cap to him, and then very small mention for Lacroix and Mateta making what I think was their debuts, or at least their tournament debuts for France.
Yeah, tournament debuts. I think they've played in the friendlies leading up to it, but yeah, not too much tournament-wise to speak about them. But yeah, cool. What team do you want to move on to next then?
Well, Sunderland, your favourite team, also brought 12 players to the World Cup, and the first one is one of the don't want to call them a small nation, but one of the debutants to the World Cup in Haiti, Wilson Isidore, scored an absolute banger as well against was it against Morocco?
I think it was Morocco.
Yeah, it was against Morocco in their last game.
It was 4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wilson Isidore. He was in and out of the team for Haiti, but when he took his chance, he took it really really well, and a player who started the season last year for Sunderland, and then obviously Brian Brobby did what he did, and we'll come on to him next, sort of thing. And Isidore probably might be looking for a move like it this summer, given he's clearly second fiddle, if not third choice at Sunderland.
Yeah, but with European football, he'll get more minutes. You don't leave a club that you've got European football with where you know you're going to be playing some of those games, surely.
I don't know. Like he got linked with us, and I was like, I would definitely take that like an experienced striker at the Championship level. He would, if one of our strikers leaves, he would come in and start for us. So would you playing a Europa League match every now and then rather than like playing week in week out?
I don't know. I'd probably do the European journey because. Yeah, I'd probably do that once and then go for it from there. But anyway, should we go on to Brian Brobby, because I didn't even know he was Dutch before this tournament, and he's been shit hot for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, Brian Brobby's been great. What I've sort of having watched him all season for Sunderland and now watching him on the world stage, something that I've been thinking about, because I remember Brian Brobby coming onto the scene with Ajax, and then when he went to Leipzig, and he was just a man with pace. He was just a boy with pace. He was just outpacing everyone. And early, he's still a young lad, and he's sort of completely changed his style of game to being such a target man, and the strength that he's now showing to hold off the players, grown men, he's just shrugging Premier League level sort of defenders away, and he's just been he's taken what was probably a good season for Sunderland and turned it into an excellent World Cup so far.
That's it, isn't it? It feels like throughout the season it was seeing him getting better as a target man, better controlling the ball, and stuff that kind of seemed like a bit gangly and a bit does he really have control of what he's doing? It's he's doing it so often now, and he's making Premier League, Premier League defenders at this World Cup look stupid. And
yeah,
it's really impressive from him.
I think you're right. He's got better as the season's gone on, and he's taken that form into the World Cup as well. He's definitely just got better. You can track it month by month. He's just getting better and better.
It's whining he's putting himself in a shop win. I mean, I don't like talking about other clubs, but we said enough about Palace. You feel like any of these players that are having a good World Cup are instantly getting links elsewhere, which is
for sure.
I think he's being linked with United at the moment, isn't he? Which is another batshit crazy thing. But yeah, it's a great one for him. Anyone else you want to pick out from Sunderland at all?
Well, I don't think he's had a particularly amazing tournament, but Granit Xhaka for Switzerland, they've sort of flattered a little bit, flattered to deceive sort of thing. I thought they should have absolutely smashed their group, really, and they kind of just got over the line. They required some really late game heroics in one game. They drew to Qatar in the first one because they couldn't finish their dinner. don't know. I don't. Switzerland haven't really impressed me so much. So
I'm not gonna lie, that Group B was I gave most of that a miss. I looked at it, I was like, nah, none of this is doing it for me. It probably should have with Canada a bit because they've got Owen Goodman as their third choice keeper out there from Palace, but a bit of me was just like,
why would that have interested you?
I don't know, it's something, ain't it? What am I going to
Honestly,
call?
I saw his name on the list and I was like, who the hell is Owen Goodman?
Mate, big time Wimbledon goalkeeper. He did bits there in League One.
Third choice goalkeeper for Canada. Great.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to be getting up at 1 in the morning to watch Qatar, Bosnia Herzegovina, as much as if that was 3 p.m. on like a weekday. Yeah, be watching it all day long. That's exactly what I'll be doing. But yeah, these World Cup American times have been making it a bit difficult.
No, fair. And then the last player for Sunderland, someone who I only really saw in the last group stage game, but Nilson Angulo for Ecuador. He against Germany when Ecuador played out of their skin, needing 3 points to go through. Nilson Angulo caused Joshua Kimmich nightmares all game. Germany clearly didn't really want to play that game. Like they had nothing to play for, and Nagelsmann played as starters, but Ecuador played them off the park. They wanted everything more. They battled a lot harder, and Angulo, who is not someone I saw a lot of last season. I don't think he sort of played that many minutes for Sunderland, but the show was so impressive in that game that I think I'll keep an eye out for him next season and see what he does at Sunderland for sure.
No, 100%. You're not getting Siddiqui a shout out for Congo as well?
Well, when I've seen Congo, he's come off the bench at times. Like the couple of games that I saw for them, he didn't start. So I'm a big fan of Noah Siddiqui, but I think there's other players for Congo that we'll come on to later.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, other things touched on Sunderland and Palace at the World Cup. 2 teams with the most Premier League goal scorers, which who would have said that before? Or who would have guessed that before? Which is, yeah.
I mean, I think it's the what we were talking about towards the end of the season with the UEFA problem with Premier League teams is not necessarily a problem at FIFA because it's obviously internationals and stuff, but it's playing itself out that these players who like Sunderland and Palace players are scoring so many goals there because of the power of the Premier League, like that these players are at Sunderland and Palace.
Still mad to me. And Sunderland also released an awesome pink Elvis-inspired kit, which I want to buy and put a Palace badge on. That's last I'll speak.
This is the second time that Alex has said on the podcast that he wants to buy a Sunderland shirt, and for all his shit that he gives me about fake support in Bournemouth, he is a much bigger Sunderland fan than I am a Bournemouth fan. I'll tell you that.
I am really giving it those vibes at the moment. But anyway, what team do you want to move on to next?
Let's go to Villa. They took 10 players to the World Cup. I don't think a lot of them have really, really impressed. Like Emi Martinez have been fine for Argentina. Like they've not really had to defend very much. But
I was going to say Argentina are looking hot favourites because Messi's really gone into superhero mode over there, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it feels like Argentina and France are on a collision course to a rematch, like because they're in opposite sides of the bracket, right? So like,
are they? I think they.
Yeah, no, I think they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
Oh yeah, because we need to play Argentina, don't we? And then we can meet France in the. England can play Argentina, and then we need to meet France in the final. Yeah, you're right. The opposite sides.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're on a collision course to like a rematch from the last one that was insane final.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there at all. But yeah, I wouldn't say Martinez really done anything to stand out. I mean,
no. I'm
looking at your list. Most of the Villa players I'm looking at.
Well, that's what I've said. Like I said, like they've like none of them are particularly impressed. Like we're coming to Amadou Onana and Yuri Tielemans for Belgium. Like Belgium have such a air about them of a team that were once great or like had a golden generation, and they're clinging on to a couple of these players, and like they didn't play well against Egypt. They're kind of lucky to get a draw out of that game. We said it earlier. They got Senegal in the next I imagine they lose that. They just don't have the makeup of a proper good World Cup team this time around.
No, they remind me so much of England when they had that golden generation, and you're looking for it after that, and always touted to be not an underdog, not even a dark horse, to be like a favourite. And they've kind of lost that title over the last three major tournaments. And now it was almost a bit sad watching them. I've come on, remember which game I watched them in. I was like, this is what it was like watching England back in the day. So I'm happy I'm not from Belgium, because I'd be sat there being like, this is atrocious.
Well, we can come on to some English players from Aston Villa. Konsa, Rodgers and Watkins are there. Watkins has barely seen the field. Rodgers has played the last game, did he?
Yeah.
And then Konsa should have got red carded against Ghana.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to go into that? Because that was the most outrageous decision I think I've seen at the World Cup.
It's like he's just like 2-footed in the air. Like he's an absolute reckless. Gets nowhere near the ball. It's like the most insane penalty. Like it's the clearest penalty call there's been in this World Cup.
It was because I was at the pub and I was quite a few pints and buzzballs and tequila rosés down, and I was watching it like, yeah, that's definitely a pen, and it didn't get given. And I was like, I'm annoyed that didn't get given because
that didn't get given. And the Jordan Pickford one, he got a foul for hacking the player outside the box. Yeah, and it was like, that's a red card, that's a penalty. How are we not even talking about this? Like the commentary was just like ignored it. Like it was just like, what are we doing here, guys?
It got ignored badly. Like I don't know, because the refereeing standard hasn't been too bad at the World Cup, I don't think.
It's been a bit weird. Like they've let a lot of things go.
I like that.
I quite like it, and like, if it's consistent, then it's fine.
And it has been consistent, but stuff like that's outrageous. The VAR against was it Iraq or it was Iran, wasn't it? With the offside, where everyone's like, it's not offside because there's the defender there, but it's like, well, no, the keeper's up above it. Like,
yeah.
Do you know? I feel like everyone's had that conversation with someone. We had it the next morning because we were waiting to go out, and I was with my partner's family, and we were talking about how's it offside, and then like you look at the replay, it's like, okay, now it all makes sense because like Smith changes it all where the keeper's in front of everyone. But I think the officiating's been good. I know some of the stuff they've been saying on VAR, the way the referee's been saying it has been like taking the mick out of a bit. But it feels like they have a protocol of what they're doing a bit more than the Premier League ones do. Do you know what I mean? Or am I just thinking?
Yeah, I mean they're definitely, majority of the time they're not intruding when it's not a clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
Like there was a incident last night, I think, where they had that Christopher Uncle woman come and give her opinion, and her opinion's always wrong.
It's always wrong.
She was like, it's always wrong. And she was like, that's a definite penalty. And then she watches the replay for another 5-10 minutes and then goes, actually, this was a great shout by VAR to not give a penalty, and here's why I'm now right. And it's like, you would have given a penalty though. You just, like you said on comms, like at the time, you had seen enough replays and you would have given a penalty. So actually, you're not offering any value here, are you?
She's really not. Like, I don't want to get into it because we'll sound pretty bad, but from the beginning, it's not been great, and I was just like, oh no, like, just leave it, please. That's why I was like, I'm just going to watch this on American channels or some other channels where I don't have to deal with this. But yeah. We'll leave that where it is.
And let's go on to another thing that's not been great. John McGinn at Scotland. Not necessarily John McGinn, but like Scotland, just the fans showed up, the players did not.
Mate, old man yellow clouds, people who had, thinking Brazil were going to lose to Scotland, or Scotland had more chance of getting points off Brazil than Morocco. Please, pundits, get back in your box with that. It reminded me of the Rugby World Cup where everyone was like, Italy, New Zealand aren't the team they used to be, Italy are on the way up. It's like Italy could win, and then they got battered like 90-0. It's just like, can we stop trying to make storylines that don't exist, please? I don't think... What they do, they beat Haiti 1-0.
That's the thing, they needed to beat Haiti like much more convincingly, because you would have either needed, like, just beating them 1-0, you then needed to take a point from Morocco or Brazil, and I really like Morocco. I said, like, before the Brazil game, I was like, I think Morocco can easily get a draw here, like put money on it, sort of thing, like, and Scotland didn't beat Haiti convincingly enough to then go into, and they kept Morocco down to only one goal, but and they had a couple of penalty shouts. I think they weren't penalties, but
No,
then
they weren't.
like they put too much pressure on that Brazil game and made some howlers like
I
in
think
defence.
too much pressure on it, and I know we don't know the insides of like football players or managers, but I feel like there's got to be some arrogance when you're going into that game where the pundits are even telling you like you have a chance against this Brazil team, like you could win it. When really they probably should have gone into that like we need a point, we need to be on it, shut up shop from the very beginning, no silly mistakes. And what do? They make two massive mistakes in the first, what was it, 10, 15 minutes to basically finish their World Cup in those 15 minutes.
Yeah, they had to be so tight and compact and work really, really hard, and they just took their eye off the ball. And they started really like their lineup was really defensive against Morocco, and then against Brazil they put a few more attacking players on. Kind of like I can see why Scotland fans were disillusioned with Steve Clarke and why he's no longer in the job.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a proper disaster, but I feel for the Scotland fans because so many are out there. One of my best mates is out there. He sent for his bar tab from the night, the pre-drinks before Boston. It was $750 between three people. I mean, he's had the trip of a lifetime, but my God, you just want your team to do a little bit more for you, don't you?
Yeah, and moving on to one player for Brighton, because I know you won't let me talk about more than one. Yasin Ayari for Sweden. Sweden have been a real mixed bag so far at this World Cup. Got battered by Netherlands, smashed Tunisia, and Ayari scoring a couple of absolute worldies in that game against his one of his parents' home nations. Didn't celebrate the first goal and then celebrated the second goal.
I guess it's fair enough. Like,
well, I respected you once. I'm not going to respect you twice.
No, it's fair. Sweden have been a mixed bag, and I honestly saw them tanking it with Graham Potter in charge.
Well, I was rooting for that, but
they've done better than I thought. I think they've got a lot to do to come up with France in the round of 32. Let's be honest, they're not doing that, are they? But
nah, not after that performance against Netherlands. But yeah, we can breeze through some more of these. Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle at Brazil. Like I think he's been one of Brazil's better players in that midfield.
He had a nice setup for Cunha, didn't he, in the last game against Scotland. So yeah, he is actually one of those players. I know I said Brazil rely on chaos. I feel like he's one of those players that needs to be there for them and like dictating the game if they want to get deep into the tournament.
Definitely, because the players around them in that midfield, like Lucas Paqueta, has got a screw missing, and he'll do something stupid, like give the ball away or whatever. Casemiro has got no legs, so Bruno has to do a lot of the running and has to keep a lot of composure. Like he still uses like dogged tackling style and stuff, and put his footprint on the game sort of thing. But yeah, they massively need Bruno in the middle of the park.
Yeah, him against Daichi today. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Nice. And then there's a couple of Newcastle players who have had awful seasons for Newcastle, but are absolutely tearing it up at the World Cup. Yohan Wissa at DR Congo and Anthony Elanga with Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, felt for Congo a bit, but then they put in that massive performance at the end of the group stages to put themselves through and basically knock Scotland out as well. I was impressed with Wissa in that, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting much, and I don't think we're going to see much against England from him at all, because I think that's just a step too far for Congo, unfortunately. But
I think Congo beat England, but...
Do you? Is that your hot take? I don't...
Nah, I just think I think they'll take it to penalties or something. I think it'll be a really tough game for England.
See, I don't see it being a tough game. I don't know why.
You would have said the same before England-Ghana, though, wouldn't you? Ghana weren't that impressive in their victory over Panama. They got a last-minute winner.
Yeah, but the difference between England and Ghana is Jordan Ayew. My prince was there, so...
He was there holding them back. They were playing with 10 men, essentially.
I don't know what you're on about, mate. Captain Fantastic.
And then Anthony Elanga with Sweden. He scored a couple of really good goals. Didn't realise that Sweden's result in the last match was enough to see them through. Yeah. Looked devastated at the end of the game, and they were like, "You're through, mate. Like it's all right. You can celebrate."
Mate, I saw the highlights of that. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" Then, and then
why is he so sad?
That's brilliant, isn't it? To be fair, I think we're all a bit like him, not knowing what's going on with that first place qualifier. Unless you had the table in front of you, it did not. It was just like,
Well, this is the problem with it is like FIFA did all this work to make sure like teams didn't have an advantage of knowing what the result they needed to go through like the group stage. The two games in that group kick off at the same time to sort of give that fair thing, and then it's like right, but Scotland had no idea what result they needed, and then like Congo knew exactly what result they needed. Sweden like knew kind of what they needed to do, sort of thing. But as Alanga showed, wasn't quite sure.
well, it was like that, and then the head-to-head rule kind of screwed it for a lot of the final games as well. I mean, I'd rather have the goal difference than the head-to-head because the
Yeah,
head-to-head like literally completely shuts it down, doesn't it? Whereas the goal difference, yeah, there's going to be teams that have like 5+ goals. It's going to be hard to turn around, but yeah, I don't think I like that one. That one didn't really
no.
make sense to me. But yeah, anyone else from Newcastle? I think that's everyone, ain't it?
Yeah, that's everyone for them. Fulham took 7 players. One player who's absolutely surprised that one, he even plays for this country, and then two, that he's starting for them. I did not have Issa Diop starting for Morocco in the World Cup, mainly
I
because when he was with West Ham, he was down as representing France, even though he obviously never got a France. Don't think he ever got a France call up. He was rumoured to at times, but
I
yeah,
mean,
then seeing him start for Morocco was a surprise.
I was shocked. I thought it was a different Issa Booker. Like, there's no way. First, I was like, there's no way this guy's still playing football. And secondly, I was like, how is he? How is he Moroccan? But fair enough. Shut me right
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that's what I'm saying earlier with Chadi Riyad. Like Morocco definitely had a couple of injuries. I know Nayef Aguerd, the former West Ham centre back, was down slated to be one of their starters, and he got injured just before the tournament. So it opened up space for newly Moroccan Issa Diop. Raul Jimenez for Mexico, like
Yeah.
scoring at the Azteca in the opening game, just absolutely beautiful scenes for that. Like,
I was gonna say that's a moment, isn't it? I wish the World Cup was just
yeah.
in Mexico because the games there have looked more vibrant. It looks really good. Like, yeah, that's been a one. And I think
They've
Mexico,
looked vintage as well.
they
Like
really have.
they look like World Cup lens.
They do, and that's the team I think are knocking England out. I think we're getting knocked out of Mexico in the last 16. I'm pretty, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure about that one. The 1 a.m.
Give it.
kickoff on Monday
Ooh.
morning. It's gonna be Mexico that do us. I can feel it. I mean, Mexico in
Yes.
Mexico when England aren't performing, they're not performing. They did what against Croatia, but let's be honest, they're not really performing. It's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be too pissed off about it. I guess we'll move on.
Let's go. Sander Berg, Oscar Bob for Norway. More just to comment on how pissed off I was with Norway for punting on that last group game against France. I was so excited for that game. I was like, oh, what a game we've got. Friday evening, France v Norway, Mbappe v Haaland, like battle for the top of the group, and then Norway just went, here's our reserves.
Yeah, but I mean that's didn't help with the head-to-head because they knew who they were getting if they went through at that point, didn't they? They knew they would.
Yeah.
It was
Well, I
either
mean,
gonna
it was winner takes like the group. So
yeah,
you're right. They knew what the outcome would be, and they just went, no, we're fine punting with this.
yeah. Oh, I'm guessing they didn't know who they'd get team-wise though, did they? Did they? Did Ivory
No,
Coast?
but surely you want to win the group and think you're going to get a stronger I don't know. It's smacked of we're now going to get knocked out in the round of 16 because
They're
we've
not.
asked for a tougher.
Yeah, I guess you're fair. Who they got? Because they got Ivory Coast first round.
That's a tough game, Ivory Coast. By the way,
Yeah,
they played really well against Germany, and then you got Brazil or Japan in the next round. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's not much. Honestly, it weren't much difference
to
from
be
what.
fair,
To,
France, Sweden. Well, no, it's France, Sweden. Like, I would have backed Norway to beat Sweden.
yeah, but then Germany next.
I would have been scared as a German fan for them
Yeah.
to watch Haaland up against our defence. Like France are gonna destroy us. Like our defence is old and weak. Like it's not gonna be like Haaland would have been licking his lips at that. So
Yeah, nah, I can agree with that. Germany's defence does not look good in this tournament so far, but they'll still fumble their way to the semis, I bet.
No, because we're going to end up with France. If we get past Paraguay on tonight, we'll end up with France in the next round, and they'll send us home.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Anyway, Anthony Robinson, tip of the cap again, playing really well for the USA, like up and down on that left-hand side. Exactly what we've seen from Fulham. Fulham's Anthony Robinson, like maybe not as much this season, but he saved it for the World Cup maybe.
Yeah, it does feel like. I mean, I probably need to take more notice of the US team. I don't know if they perform well just because if it's at home and the group wasn't. Well, obviously they were the top seed in their group and everything. I think it's all going to kind of show when they play Bosnia in this knockout game. I think that's going to.
Yeah, I mean, this was like getting out of the groups in a home tournament was like bare minimum requirement for USA. Like, and even like getting through Bosnia is a bare minimum requirement. I think once you start to get, yes, we don't think Belgium are very good, but Senegal, like, that's where you start to think, right, round of 16. That's like starting to become a good tournament, if not a great tournament. Like, if they get through the round of 16 into the quarters, that's a success for USA.
Yeah, that's big. Who would they get if they got through to the Spain or Portugal or Croatia or Austria? Yeah, it's
probably Spain out of that.
Spain, yeah. It's going to be interesting for them. Cool. Any other teams? Who should we go for?
A couple of others that we can go through, like Bournemouth. Ryan coming in for Rafinha in that last couple of games, like he came in. Yeah, like he played pretty well.
I mean, fucking what a last 6 months for him. Going to Bournemouth, absolutely killing it, and then first World Cup, I'm guessing, and first World Cup goal. He's living the dream.
Yeah. I think everyone can see that the ceiling for Ryan is absolutely like one of the top players in the world.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're not talking about Scotland players anymore. They don't deserve it.
No. Ryan Christie and Ben Gannon Doak, not worth discussing again. And then Tyler Adams for USA again.
I was going to say, Doak, I don't think is even a championship player from the performance he put in for Scotland against Morocco. It was...
He's one of those players that like he runs a lot, so it looks like he's like putting himself about and he's like making himself available and he's trying, but the quality of like final third delivery and like actually the success of those dribbles and stuff is definitely questionable, and he's probably a player that does need a year playing football. Like he was so in and out of like barely played for Bournemouth this year with injuries, with just being a rotation piece. Like he probably just needs a season in the Championship.
He's had his season in the Championship, hasn't he? Yeah, he had his season with Middlesbrough, and that's when he all was shit hot, because we were in for him as well. And I remember Liverpool pricing us out of him because what did they want? They got
20 mil for him?
20 mil? It's just like, he's not a 25 mil player. To be fair, we should not be talking about him. Let's just move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Another USA player, Tyler Adams, like again, just sort of the beating heart of that midfield for USA. Yeah. We'll move on to Nottingham Forest. I guess we can't count Anderson now. Now he's passed his medical for Man City.
Yeah, that 130 mil, you can't say no to that if you're a Forest fan. You can't, can you? Like, I messaged my Forest mate about it, and he was like, sad to lose him, but that's eye-watering money. That's the type of things that I've been saying about Wharton for ages now. It's like, yeah, 130 mil, and I won't be upset. So when it actually happens, you're there like, you can rebuild your whole football club with that type of money, can't you? So I think...
or like West Ham, you can buy James Ward-Prowse and sink your team into the Championship.
Fair enough.
They were like, do you remember when Tottenham sold Bale and bought dross, like seven players who were absolute dross? Like none of them were a success. Like it's so much easier to say sell for 100 plus and reinvest and rebuild your team than it actually is. Like more often than not, it's a failure.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to trust the team. I think if Palace got given 130 mil now, they would be able to go out and sign the right players. In all honesty, it's just the stature of the club make it a better place, because some of that money they got for Bell has to have helped them go build that new stadium, do you know what I mean? And give them the infrastructure to be the club, not the club they are, not the football club they are now, but the club, the brand it all is now. Do you know what I mean?
You mean the Beyonce gig venue that it is now?
Yeah, the NFL big stadium.
The toilet bowl. A positive Forest player, Ibrahim Sangare. We've not talked about Cote d'Ivoire, but they were really, really good against Germany. They got out the group. Like, I know, like, Yan Diomande is another topic, but like, he's an excellent player. But Sangare is like boss in the middle of the park for them, and they're just really good. I think they'll be interesting to watch in the knockouts.
We were messaging a lot in that game, weren't we? Because I was just like, come on, Germany, just let this happen. Because what was it, Congo? Ivory Coast definitely deserved it, and I think
we absolutely pinched that game.
You did, absolute bastards. But like you say, they've got a hard route now with Norway or Brazil and Japan. But they're one of the teams I can see. Which African team can you see getting the furthest? Senegal. It's got to be Senegal, ain't it?
I mean, Senegal or Ivory Coast. Like, I would have said Morocco, but I think that Netherlands draw is really, really difficult for them.
Who do they get next? To be fair, they get past that. Oh yeah, but then it's Canada, which they could get past. But then France. That's gonna. Oh, maybe it is because there's more teams in this that there's some really tasty matchups coming, aren't there?
I mean, the answer is Senegal, right? Like their path to the quarterfinal at least is open for them, whereas Ivory Coast is very difficult. They've got Norway, who that will be a really tough game, and if they manage to get through that, Brazil-Japan will be a really, really tough game. So,
and then they'll get Mexico or England in the next one, and they'll probably beat England.
You mean Mexico? Because Mexico would have beaten England by then. So don't worry about that, mate. Brentford, Igor Thiago, Brazilian catfish, started one game, out of the team. Don't need to talk about Thiago anymore.
Nah, we don't.
Everton, Jordan Pickford, absolute. Don't know how he's losing it. This is going to be the tournament. This is going to be the tournament where his T-Rex arms fail for England.
Oh, I don't know. He's been okay. It just should have been sent off. And then that one where the ball goes past him, Joe Hart's making up the excuses for goalkeepers, isn't he? That the ball's flying a bit different compared to what they'd expect. I mean, fair enough.
He's giving it the old Jabulani.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that with my own eyes looking at it. There's been no enough of the like parallel ball where it switched direction halfway through when it knuckled. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a harsh one. But yeah, and then do you want to talk about Senegal players from Everton?
Idrissa Gueye's been excellent in the middle of the park for them, and then I'm really, really surprised how little Iliman Ndiaye has played for them. Like, I don't think he started one of the group games, which we both love Ndiaye.
Yeah, but I just think they've got so many players and are dangerous, and they've got their system there. Like, I wasn't expecting Sarr to start as many games as he had, but I don't know if it's coming off his club form. They've just been like, okay, we're going to give you more of a go here for this. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I suppose like Sarr and they obviously Sadio Mane is like their talisman.
Yeah,
so like it's kind of like, where do you fit Ndiaye in that system sort of thing?
Yeah, I thought Ndiaye would be starting ahead of Sarr, if I'm being honest, but I guess the club form is just too much to deny him of it, and he's kind of repaid it as well with the goals he's been scoring. So yeah, and then last one, you want to touch on Leeds?
Yeah, Leeds Altanaka for Japan, like one of those like same things we said about Daichi, like that Japanese midfield, they just run for days, and like Altanaka didn't start the first game, I don't believe, but he's come on at times and shown his quality that he did for Leeds as well. Like I'm a big fan of Altanaka.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, that's it for our group stage wrap up then. I think we'll come back with another pod at the end of the knockout stages, just to kind of sum up everything. Hopefully we'll have some other 14 winners to be talking about, and then we'll go into our predictions and previews for the new season. But yeah, feel free to rate and review the podcast, tell your friends, and follow us on socials at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, or email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, otherwise we'll catch you guys after the finishing of the World Cup.
Enjoy.